Hi, I'm Mr. Kangas, and today we're going to take a look at Chapter 10, Section 1, Line and Angle Relationships. And this particular section is going to focus on something called transversals, and we're going to be talking about some special angle properties that exist when you have a transversal. So the first thing we're going to discuss is what is a transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects through a pair of parallel lines. So it goes through a pair of parallel lines. So this line right here is the transversal because it's going through this pair of parallel lines. So any line that cuts through a pair of parallel lines is considered a transversal. And every time a line cuts through a pair of parallel lines, it creates 8 angles that I've labeled here. Now, with those 8 angles, there are some special properties that exist. So we're going to start talking about those, and we're going to talk about them one at a time. There are really two types of properties we're going to be looking at. Certain angle formations or angle pairs will be what are known as supplementary angles, and so we'll talk about those first. If you have supplementary angles, then the two angles that you are talking about add up to 180 degrees. Now, with supplementary angles, you can have 2 angles that add up to 180, 3 angles, 4 angles, 5 angles. It doesn't matter how many angles you have as long as in the end they add up to exactly 180 degrees. And remember, 180 degrees creates a straight line or half a circle. Both of those represent 180 degrees. Supplementary angles do not have to be connected. However, the easiest types of supplementary angles to identify are ones that are connected. If you have a straight line that has another line coming off it, then angle 1 right here and angle 2 right here create supplementary angles. So the angle on the right and the angle on the left are supplementary because this straight line is being split into 2 different angles, and a straight line is 180 degrees, remember. So now this straight 180 degree angle has been split into 2 pieces, so those 2 pieces should add up to 180 degrees. Also, if you connect the 2 angles, you can see it creates a half circle. So there are many examples of supplementary angles on a transversal. Out of these 8 angles, you should be able to see many supplementary angles that are connected. There are also many that are not connected. But we'll just talk about the ones that are connected first. If you take a look, here's a straight line, right? Angles 1 and 2 split that straight line into 2 pieces, so angles 1 and 2 are supplementary. Angles 1 and 2 if connected also create that half circle. So whichever method works for you, whether you're looking for the straight line being split into 2 pieces or you're looking for the half circle to identify supplementary angles, either one works. So angles 1 and 2 are supplementary. You also can take a look at angles 2 and 4. The transversal is a straight line, and the parallel line up here is cutting the transversal straight line into 2 pieces. And so angles 2 and 4 are also supplementary. Angles 3 and 4 are supplementary, and angles 1 and 3 are supplementary. Okay, so we have angles 1 and 2, angles 2 and 4, angles 3 and 4, and angles 1 and 3 are all supplementary. And you can do the same thing down bottom. If you take a look at the transversal, it creates two intersection points, and each intersection point, here's intersection point 1, here's intersection point 2. Each intersection point has 4 angles around it. So what that means is anything that's true for the top intersection point is true for the bottom. So if angles 1 and 2 are supplementary on top, then angles 5 and 6 should also be supplementary. If angles 2 and 4 are supplementary, then angles 6 and 8 should also be supplementary, along with angles 7 and 8 and angles 5 and 7. So that is supplementary angles. You can also have supplementary angles that are not connected. So for example, you can take a look at angle 1 and angle 2. Angles 1 and 2 are supplementary and they're connected. Now eventually, in future videos, you will learn that angles 2 and 6 are the same size. So because angles 2 and 6 are the same size, that means angles 1 and 2 are supplementary, but also angles 1 and 6 as well. Because if you match up angle 1 with angle 2, and you get 180 degrees, and we said that angle 6 is the same size as 2, then angle 1 plus angle 6 should also equal 180 degrees. Okay, so this is your very first, very basic introduction to transversals and line angle relationships. We've talked about transversals and supplementary angles so far. Make sure you've taken good notes. Make sure you pause the video, take some notes. If you need to rewind it, watch it again. Make sure you do so. There are a lot of notes to come in this section, so you need to make sure you stay on top of them. Take very good notes, okay? And tune in for the next video where we'll be discussing more of the angle relationships that exist on transversals.